Man, this shit's gonna cave in the fucking garage door. And this is just like out of nowhere.
A massive Category 3 dust storm, scientifically known as a haboob, engulfed the Phoenix metropolitan area and central Arizona, triggering a regional grounding of flights at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, causing widespread power outages and dropping highway visibility to absolute zero. A towering mile-high wall of dense desert sand and particulate matter slammed into the Valley of the Sun, plunging daytime skies into localized pockets of pitch-black darkness. The system rolled through with extraordinary speed, consuming landmarks, subverting regional commerce, and forcing thousands of commuters into hazardous survival scenarios on major interstate networks. The massive dust storm originated along a volatile boundary pushing upward from northern Pinal County and adjacent high-terrain corridors. As intense localized thunderstorm cells collapsed under their own weight, massive columns of rain-cooled air rushed downward toward the desert floor at extreme velocities. Upon colliding with the superheated surface terrain of the desert, these violent downdrafts, meteorologically categorized as downbursts, pushed outward horizontally in all directions. Acting like a giant atmospheric bulldozer, the high-velocity air mass scraped up decades of fine, loose desert silt, generating a terrifying wall of solid debris that stretched nearly from the Mexican border all the way north to Buckeye. Researchers and teaching professors at Arizona State University, ASU, analyzed complex atmospheric modeling data and spatial instrumentation arrays to officially classify the weather event as a Category 3 dust storm on their specialized 1 to 5 severity index. Unlike cyclical hurricane modeling metrics, which are forecast days before landfall, dust storm category classifications are calculated post-impact. This allows researchers to utilize real-time ground telemetry, laser-based particle sensors, and radar backscatter signals to capture the exact magnitude of the particulate loading. A Category 3 designation identifies the storm as a major, high-tier regional event capable of causing critical systemic disruptions across multiple civic sectors. At the heart of the regional disruption was Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, one of the busiest aviation crossroads in the United States. As the immense orange and brown plume rolled over downtown Phoenix, horizontal visibility on the active runways dropped below critical safety thresholds. Air traffic controllers initiated a sudden ground stop, preventing inbound aircraft from landing and halting all departures. Over 80 commercial flights were systematically modified via delays, cancellations, or emergency mid-air diversions to alternate airports outside the storm's path. The high winds accompanying the dust front clocked consistently up to 40 miles per hour, with higher localized microburst pulses, severely tested the electrical distribution architecture of the valley. The combination of airborne dust buildup on insulators and structural impacts from wind-thrown trees caused power grids to fail across multiple municipal sectors. Thousands of Salt River Project, SRP, customers in Avondale and sections near Santan Valley were plunged into immediate darkness as lines snapped.
Man, this shit's gonna cave in the
Emergency
fucking
utility
garage door.
crews worked under severe conditions to isolate broken lines and reroute power through unaffected high-voltage trunk lines. The Arizona Department of Transportation,
And this is just like out of
ADOT,
nowhere.
utilized its state-of-the-art automated
came out
dust
of the
detection
shower.
grid along the
Everything was
heavily
dead
traveled
calm.
Interstate 10 corridor. As the front crossed the asphalt, advanced optical sensors registered the instantaneous plunge in visibility and immediately triggered automated digital overhead messaging boards. Variable speed limit signs dynamically adjusted downward to 45 miles per hour, automatically warning drivers of the impending environmental wall. Officials noted that while the automated tracking systems executed flawlessly to slow traffic down, the absolute safest course of action during an active haboob is to stay completely off the highway network. For drivers caught entirely off guard on freeways like the Loop 202, US 60, or I-17, the National Weather Service, NWS, and state troopers enforced a strict, non-negotiable safety sequence known widely across the Southwest as pull aside, stay alive. Do not slam on the brakes abruptly, but safely guide the vehicle toward the outer edge of the highway. Move the vehicle entirely off the paved travel lanes and past the emergency shoulder if possible. Bring the vehicle to a full stop and turn off every single exterior light, including headlights and hazard indicators. Failing to turn off lights is a fatal mistake. Trailing drivers in blinding dust blindly follow taillights ahead, assuming they represent an active open lane, leading to high-speed rear-end pileups. Take your foot completely off the brake pedal so that your brake lights are not illuminated. Keep your seatbelt securely fastened, remain inside the protective shell of the cabin, and wait until the localized dust column migrates away. What makes Arizona's monsoon storms uniquely deceptive is their rapid, multi-stage evolution. In many parts of the East Valley, such as Mesa near Crisman and US 60, light rain actually preceded the arrival of the massive wall of dust. However, as the primary outflow boundary struck, the dust choked out the atmosphere, only to be followed immediately by secondary severe thunderstorms. This secondary wave dropped torrential rainfall onto the freshly deposited dust, creating slippery mud-slicked road surfaces and triggering immediate localized flash flood warnings across Maricopa County. Beyond the immediate mechanical and structural threats of downing trees and crashing power frameworks, severe dust storms present long-term epidemiological issues for the desert population. Dust storms carry significant concentrations of fungal spores native to southwestern soil. When inhaled deeply into the respiratory system during high-velocity wind events, these spores can cause coccidioidomycosis, commonly referred to as valley fever. Public health agencies advise infants, the elderly, and individuals with chronic respiratory issues or compromised immune systems to remain deep within climate-controlled indoor spaces with verified particulate filtration systems running continuously until ambient air quality readings normalize. Meteorologists at the Phoenix Weather Desk warned that this major Category 3 opening salvo is not an isolated incident. Weather models show a persistent, highly active monsoonal moisture pattern locking into place over the desert southwest. With massive amounts of moisture cycling up from the Gulf of California and intersecting with daily triple-digit daytime heating, the atmospheric conditions are ripe for consecutive rounds of severe weather. Daily chances for intense thunderstorms, microburst wind damage, and secondary blinding dust columns are expected to plague the lower desert corridors for the remainder of the week. Residents are strongly urged to keep emergency alerts active on mobile devices, secure loose backyard items, and closely monitor live weather metrics before embarking on regional highway travel. Meanwhile, a flash flood warning was issued by the National Weather Service in Flagstaff at 2:10 p.m. on Monday, July 13th. This warning applies to Coconino and Yavapai. The National Weather Service warns, "This is a life-threatening situation. Heavy rainfall will cause extensive and severe flash flooding of creeks, streams, and ditches in the Pocket Fire Scar. Severe debris flows can also be anticipated across roads. Roads and driveways may be washed away in places. If you encounter floodwaters, climb to safety." At 3:17 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain over the Pocket Fire Scar. Between 1 and 2 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts up to 0.25 inches are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. The National Weather Service in Flagstaff has issued a flash flood warning for the Pocket Fire Scar in Coconino County in north-central Arizona, Yavapai County in west-central Arizona, until 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. At 2:10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain over the Pocket Fire Scar. Between 0.25 and 0.75 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 0.5 to 1 inch are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. The corridors most exposed this week are I-10 from Tucson toward Phoenix, I-8 through the far southern basins, and I-17 and State Route 89 across the higher terrain near Prescott, where warnings were also posted. Expect sudden ponding at underpasses, rapid runoff across normally dry crossings, and blinding dust on the open desert stretches. Conditions can flip from clear to dangerous in the span of a single storm cell.
I don't see nothing falling on stage.
Do they like have second eyelids?
28 people killed. Authorities believe the fire started near that stage.
That storm.
This is what they saw when Noah's days happened. Trees are down. Poor old red truck, it might wash away out there. You're probably going down the driveway next. Hope everybody's doing okay.